Evening and welcome to Look North. Our top story tonight. Not going to school. Thousands of children in one Yorkshire city miss half of their lessons, making it one of the worst places in the country for attendance.
Schools across the country are having difficulty making sure children are coming to school on time, and it is a crisis in the sense that if the children are not in, the impact of their absence is quite significant.
We look at how schools are working to improve attendance. Also tonight, the robbery that caused a stroke. 2 men are jailed after scaring a grandmother to death as they tried to break into her house. A Yorkshire skate park is the latest to suffer the cost of living crisis. High energy bills could force it to close. Pink sky at night, a fright or delight? We investigate potential paranormal activity up from above.
And as you can see from this picture in Rotherham, the sunshine finally made an appearance today, and it's here to stay for the weekend. A fine autumnal weekend to come. I'll be back at the end of the programme with all the other details.
Hello and welcome to Friday's Look North. COVID caused a seismic shift in parents' attitudes to school attendance that will take a monumental effort to change. That's according to one Yorkshire council, who say they're making attendance in school a priority. According to the latest data, Bradford has the second highest proportion of children persistently missing school in England. Almost a third of children miss at least 10% of their lessons. That's 25,000 children. For Yorkshire as a whole, a quarter of pupils are persistently absent. This figure has almost doubled since before the pandemic. And Yorkshire is the worst in the country for severe absences, with almost 15,000 pupils missing half of their lessons. Phil Bodmer has spent the day in Bradford to find out the reasons for poor attendance and what schools are doing to try to tackle this issue.
Swap sides, not near the road.
Setting off for school, pupils from St Stephen's Primary in Bradford. With an attendance rate in excess of 90%, accompanying children to arrive ready on time is part of a strategy to combat unnecessary absence.
I think Bradford is indicative of the rest of the country. The schools across the country are having difficulty making sure children are coming to school on time, and it is a crisis.
And the winner is Samuel.
The school recognises and rewards those with the best records. Pupils are entered into a weekly draw to win a £5 voucher.
We have an approach here called being an attendance hero, being here every day, ready on time. So linking not just attendance, but with punctuality as well. We ensure that those children that find it difficult to come to school or their home situation may be challenging, we have a walk-in bus, so we employ staff that go out and collect children from their homes.
Earlier this year, a group of MPs were told there is a national persistent truancy crisis in England, with significantly more children now missing lessons than before the pandemic.
The House of Commons Education Committee says the reasons for this crisis are varied and complex. School absence is damaging children's development, affects their future prospects, and in some cases is a safeguarding issue too. They say quick action is needed to turn the tide on this growing problem.
At Carlton Bolling College, they too have seen a shift in attitudes to school attendance.
Well, Bradford is part of the national debate, the national issues around attendance, the emergence of home working, the post-lockdown, post-COVID issues that students are facing. I think then mix in with the local context to make that quite a problem.
Like other schools, the college is creating incentives for face-to-face learning.
So we do rewards for attendance. Part of our graduation's to do with attendance, and our Carlton Edge programme, which is a variety of visits and experiences within school that encourage students to come, and they love those experiences.
Bradford Council says COVID has caused a seismic shift in parental attitudes to school attendance that is going to take a monumental multi-service effort to change. We work closely with schools, academies and trusts to identify pupils who may need support to overcome barriers that are stopping them attending regularly. Zara is preparing for her GCSEs next summer. She has 100% attendance, but worries about some of her classmates missing important lessons.
I definitely do worry, because sometimes it is a bit shocking that they just take a day off because they don't feel like it. And in my head, I usually just think about how it's going to affect their future, because of course there might be one day that they've missed where there was really important content covered in lessons, and if they miss out on that, they could suffer hugely in the future.
If I do a stage whisper, I think it's really good. You can hear, OK? So that is the difference. Really well done. Right,
good attendance can maximise educational opportunity. For young people, the choices they make now may shape their chances later in life. Phil Bodmer, BBC Look North, Bradford.
Next tonight, 2 men have been jailed after a grandmother died of fear and distress when they tried to break into her house in Leeds. Kim Way collapsed during an attempted raid at her home and later died in hospital. Leeds Crown Court heard that she was so frightened when a masked man brandishing a screwdriver smashed her window that she suffered a stroke. Abby Jayola has more.
It was in March this year that 2 men called at the home of 64-year-old Kim Way here in Morley. They asked if any jobs needed doing. They were told no and they left. But they returned shortly after and began making threats and demanding the keys to an Audi that was parked on the drive. Those men were 18-year-old Jerry Hanrahan from Cottingley Springs in Leeds and 20-year-old Samuel Hanrahan from Manchester. CCTV footage showed Jerry Hanrahan armed with a screwdriver and smashing the front windows of the house. Both men fled when they were told the police had been called. Now, Mrs. Way sadly collapsed during the attack and suffered a massive stroke. She was taken to hospital and died later that day. Now, forensic pathologists were able to show a direct causal link between the anxiety she suffered during the attack on her home and the stroke that she had. Both men were charged with manslaughter. In a victim impact statement given to the courts, Mrs. Way's daughter said, "Our mum was taken too soon. The day her life ended was the day ours ended too. We can never get our lives back to normal and we have to deal with this overwhelming sadness and loss for the rest of our lives. This has left the deepest hole in our hearts and we all miss our beautiful and kind mother so much." Today, Jerry Hanrahan was jailed for 9 years and 9 months for manslaughter with a concurrent term of 7 years and 6 months for attempted robbery. Samuel Hanrahan was jailed for 9 years for the manslaughter and another concurrent term of 5 years and 7 months for attempted robbery. West Yorkshire Police say they hope this sends a clear deterrent message that they will take the strongest possible action against those who cause harm in communities. Abby Jayola, BBC Look North, Morley.
You're watching Friday's Look North. Still to come on tonight's programme.
Are you ready for some art in the dark? As night falls in Leeds this evening, the city is going to look very different indeed. We'll be here live with all the highlights from this year's Light Night.
But first, it's being promoted as one of the ways to ease the housing crisis. The government is considering allowing agricultural barns to be converted to homes without planning permission. Ministers say it would unlock more homes in communities that need them. But the idea has been criticised by officials from the Yorkshire Dales National Park, where there are fears that historic buildings could be lost. Our business correspondent Spencer Stokes reports.
There are more than 6,000 barns dotted across the Yorkshire Dales, built to shelter cattle and store hay. Many are now unused, but have the potential to be converted into a home. And under government proposals, that could be done without planning permission.
This is what's at risk. It's a fairly typical example of a Dales barn.
For the chief executive of the National Park, the plan puts the character of the Dales under threat.
Well, I mean, just look at this. When you think of the Yorkshire Dales, what do you see? You see that classic barns and walls landscape. So the concern is that these proposals could intrinsically damage that landscape. Mrs. Miggins, you know, she wants to put a porch on her house. That'll still be subject to a formal planning consultation. But the local landowner wants to convert a barn into a home on the side of the fell. No consultation required, no democratic process involved in that. That can't be right, can it? That is completely illogical.
The government has defended the proposal, saying that any developments must be well designed, and they'll continue to explore new ways to unlock more homes that local communities need. They say the proposed changes will also offer farmers greater flexibility.
This barn is structurally unsound. It's got to be converted to a house for some people to come and live in permanently.
Stephen Ramsden is a farmer who supports the idea, having had planning permission to convert this barn rejected on multiple occasions.
This building is now deteriorating to such an extent if it falls down, it'll have to be completely removed, and that will be another piece of landscape lost. Our uplands economically has declined, so we've got to see people to come and live in here, and you're living and working in the area, supporting the pubs, the schools, and all the other infrastructure that we need in the Dale, like anyone else takes for granted.
It's one of the most common pieces of feedback I get from farmers and landowners, our members, is that they desperately want to provide rural homes, but at the moment there is just such a housing shortage in rural areas, and it is inflating the price that we're all seeing in terms of properties to buy and rent in rural areas.
The National Park says it's not against barn conversions and has given the go-ahead to 300 in the last 8 years, but it thinks the established planning process should remain. In this landscape, with its abundance of barns, the proposal has opened up a debate about homes or heritage. Spencer Stokes, BBC Look North, in the Dales.
More news from around the region now, and 4 suspects sought by West Yorkshire Police over the murder of Jamie Mear are believed to have fled abroad. Newly released CCTV footage shows the 4 suspects in Liverpool before they are believed to have left the country. Jamie died in hospital after being stabbed and fatally wounded in Armley in March of this year. A 16-year-old boy was also stabbed and seriously injured in the attack. The 4 suspects, all from Leeds, are wanted by police. A ban on blue badge parking in parts of York city centre has been overturned by councillors. Disabled parking in pedestrianised areas was banned in 2021 to enable anti-terror bollards to be built. Disability campaigners said it left many people cut off from accessing the city centre. Well, earlier councillors voted to retain the bollards but ruled that blue badge access would be restored. Now, earlier this week, we met 8-year-old Iman in Huddersfield, who was honoured with the British Citizen Youth Award. Well, yesterday, she went to the Westminster Palace with her family to receive that award. She has been recognised for making jewellery and donating the proceeds to Huddersfield Street Kitchen. Well done to her. Now, fundraising is underway to save an indoor skate park in West Yorkshire that's been hit by the rising price of electricity. Mags on Ramps in Ovenden in Halifax has been going for over 10 years and racked up 20,000 visits last year. But an unexpected bill has left it in financial difficulties. The owners need £10,000 by the end of the month to stay open. Kathy Killick has the story.
For those that skate, scoot or skateboard, there's nothing like it. Focus and adrenaline puts you in a zone akin to meditation, but you need the facilities to do it. An unexpected energy bill here at Mags on Ramps means it's threatened with closure. It needs £10,000 by the end of the month and is appealing to the local community to help them out.
Come see us, have a coffee, watch the skating, have a go at skating if you're there, and enjoy it. We all enjoy it, and there's not many places that are left on this level, and in my local area there isn't. So we lose this one, it's a long way out before we can carry it on.
9-year-old Sophie started skateboarding 2 months ago and is hooked. When she heard about the park's problems, she was so concerned she offered to start fundraising.
Here you go, guys. It's for the skate park fundraiser, so you won't shut down.
Thank you very much. I'll sell them out at window.
Making friendship bracelets and cards for sale. So far, she's raised £309.
My sister gave me the idea of making some bracelets, because I used to do it, and I've been selling them, and I've been putting them in some shops so they can try sell them for here. And also, my nanny and me make some cards, and we put them in here, so if they want to buy any, they can.
It's really sad. We really do need to try and keep it up, and it's just an amazing facility. It's something that is open to everybody, and people from really small to grown adults come, and it's amazing for everybody.
The owners are hoping local businesses might sponsor advertising hoardings. They've also set up a GoFundMe page. The park's ethos is all about helping each other learn and helping each other out. They're hoping others feel that way too. Kathy Killick, BBC Look North, Ovenden.
Yes, indeed. Use it or lose it. Excellent work there from Sophie. Let's hope they can stay open. Now, sticking with the sporting theme, our lovely Sally is here with all the latest. Sally.
Thank you, Amanda. Yes. Well, let's start with some football news today because Sheffield Wednesday have appointed their new manager. He's the former assistant manager for the German national team, Danny Röhl. This is his first managerial role, and at 34, he's the youngest boss in the English Football League. He replaces Xisco Munoz, who was sacked last week, having overseen the club's worst ever start to a new season. Danny Röhl spoke to Paul Ogden earlier.
Well, I can tell you, your Look North sport team has had our best German phrases ready to welcome Danny Röhl to Sheffield Wednesday. Herzlich willkommen and all that. No need for it at all because he speaks wonderful English. Welcome to Sheffield Wednesday. But why this job, Danny?
Yeah, well, I'm convinced about this club. I feel this energy in this club. It's special to be here. We have a big fan base, and this traditional club with the fan base and with my style of football, we can do something special here in the future.
But it's a big step in your managerial career, your first job as the main boss. Some Sheffield Wednesday managers recently haven't lasted that long, so is that a big risk for you personally?
No, it's a chance to be here, and I'm thinking forward what we can do here, and we can improve a lot of things, and yeah, this is what I like.
What do you make of the team that you are going to manage? They haven't had a win in the Championship all season. It's not exactly an easy job, is it?
Yeah, it's true, but I come back to the promotion. There was a defeat from 4-0, and nobody expects something, and then they turn it up to a 5-1. And I think this shows so many things what I need and what I like, because then there's a mentality, there's a willingness, and yeah, we can do this with this team.
What does the name Sheffield Wednesday and its supporters say to you as somebody from outside Yorkshire?
I want to say to the fans, yeah, that they can, I'm looking forward to meet them in the stadium, to feel the energy here, and I think the combination between the fans and my style of football, it will work.
Good luck to you. As new manager of Sheffield Wednesday. Herzlich willkommen. As we said, welcome to Yorkshire. Danny Röhl, and his work starts straight away. Maybe it's a good thing there's an international break this weekend.
Thank you so much, and your Germany is brilliant.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Dankeschön, Oggy. Now, Leeds Rhinos will go head-to-head with Wigan Warriors in the Wheelchair Super League Grand Final this weekend. The Rhinos are looking to lift the trophy for the third time in 5 years. Wigan have never won it before. The game is on Sunday in Manchester, and Rhinos head coach James Simpson is predicting a fierce battle.
When there's a grand final on the line, the day after the Wigan running game team, that's the kind of game you get fired up for. So it'll be a huge test, but we know we can match them, and I don't like to kind of like blow our own trumpet, but I feel like we've got more than they've got, on the day. But it's going to be a test, and it's a knockout final. It's going to come down to the last 20-30 minutes. Who can hold the nerve and who can kind of dig out that extra reserve.
Yorkshire cricketer Harry Brook says he's still working out how to adapt to the 50-over game as he plays for England at his first World Cup. The team are in Delhi ahead of their next game against Afghanistan on Sunday. And Brook, who has little experience in the one-day international format, says it's been a steep learning curve.
Yeah, obviously I'm pretty inexperienced in this competition or this format. It's been quite hard to adapt. And I'm still trying to figure out how to play the game, trying to figure out my method of batting as well, and my tempo. So yeah, it's obviously I haven't had the start I wanted to the World Cup, but hopefully I can learn from them experiences and improve.
Now, thousands of people give up their time for free every week to make sure everyone can take part in grassroots sport. And if you know someone like that who goes the extra mile to help others get involved, you can nominate them now for the BBC Sports Personality of the Year Unsung Hero Award. To nominate, head to bbc.co.uk/unsunghero, where you can find everything you need to know. And that's your sport for now.
Thank you very much, Sally. So many fabulous people out there. Wonderful.
Yeah,
thank you very much. Now, take a look at this. It's one of my favourite nights of the year. It's time to take a look at Leeds in a new light, quite literally. The annual festival Light Night is back, and some of the city's landmarks are lit up with projections and performances. We sent Corinne Wheatley down to Leeds Dock, where tonight's show is just getting underway. Corinne.
Thanks, Amanda. Yes, this is one of my favourite nights of the year as well. We are in Leeds Dock and we are in amongst the art installation Evanescence, which is an 8-metre high installation of these iridescent bubbles. It looks absolutely fantastic. And as the evening has drawn in over the last 20 minutes or so, it's really started to come out in full colour. Let's have a chat now to some of the people who've come down to see Light Nights. This is Helen. Helen, you've come down with your daughter Aria. What drew you out to see Light Nights this evening?
It's totally different to anything that Leeds ever does. We came last year, so we saw the top side of Leeds. It was absolutely fantastic. As you can see, there's people around everywhere. It's just brilliant. It's just something different, really.
And Aria, I know you've been having a look around. What do you think of these bubbles?
I think that they're brilliant, they're colourful, and I really like them, and I really want to go in there, but I don't know how to go in.
You've been running into them, haven't you?
Yeah, and I've been running into them, and I think there's fireworks.
Thank you very much, Aria. Well, planning Light Night is a year-round job, and the person with that job is Abby Robinson, who's the artistic director and producer. Abby, tell us a bit more about Evanescent.
Well, this is one of my favourite pieces this year at Light Night. They're made by a design company in Australia called Atelier Sisu, and as you mentioned, they're 8 metres tall, iridescent during the day, but then they're illuminated at night to create this colourful, magical landscape that you can walk through. It's beautiful.
And the theme this year is future dreaming. So tell me a bit more about that and what else we can see tonight in City Centre.
Well, the theme links really into the final part of the Leeds 2023 Year of Culture, which is all about dreams and aspirations for the city. And we feel like Light Night is all about dreams and creativity and aspiration, supporting local artists to make work, but also bringing in amazing work from international artists as well. We've got work all over the city centre, from big projections on Millennium Square and the Queen's Hotel to an enchanted glade in Park Square that you can walk through and see all sorts of magical creatures. We're just really excited to kind of change the landscape of the city at night for people, and it's amazing to see families out late at night in the city. It completely changes the atmosphere.
Thank you very much, Abby. Well, I can't wait to have a look around the rest of it. Light Night has grown hugely over the years. 100,000 people now over the 2 nights. It's on until 10:30 this evening, and it's all free.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Corinne. I shall definitely be popping out in my break tonight. Thank you, Corinne. And staying with lights, just take a look at this, the mysterious pink glow that's been seen over the Yorkshire countryside near Selby. Some say it's the Northern Lights, others wonder if it's an alien invasion. Well, blinding us with colour, as they say. The truth is out there, and Lindsay Smith has been investigating for us.
Yorkshire's pink skies. They've caused excitement on social media. Many are convinced they've witnessed the Northern Lights. Ruby feared something more sinister.
I work with a group called Uprising and we investigate UFOs. When I looked over, I was like, what on earth is that? So my brain obviously initially just went straight to, it's a UFO. I did Yelp. I woke my wife up and made her look at my pictures that I'd taken and look out the window, which was like, what is that? And then obviously I realised that it was stationary and was not moving, so I didn't feel like my life was in danger at that point.
The Northern Lights, seen here from the Shetland Islands, are on many a bucket list. People can travel thousands of miles to see them. So was Howden enjoying a rarely seen display? Sadly not.
It's LED lights used for growing plants. We grow various different plants, tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, aubergines, for the supermarkets for the UK population. We're here to provide food security for the UK and make sure that our own growers can get plants. Because of the energy crisis, we had to invest heavily in LED lights, which has saved us 57% of our electric bill, but it means that the light's pink.
So the beautiful skies are because of aubergines, not aliens. Peppers, not paranormal activity.
It's like our own little Northern Lights.
Lindsay Smith, BBC Look North, Howden.
And this is why I love working in regional news. Stories like that. Never mind pink nights. How about a dry night for Leeds night tonight?
It looks lovely, actually. Yeah, and
good.
actually the whole weekend looks nice. A cool weekend, but a lovely crisp autumnal weekend. It does look largely dry. It wasn't very pleasant this morning though, was it? These were the streets of York, the shambles looking very soggy indeed. It did cheer up for most of us through the day. We did see a good deal of dry weather. It remained cloudy for a time, but some of us saw some sunshine. But yes, it is going to feel distinctly autumnal, I think, as we head through the weekend. So a lovely weekend to get out and about, taking pictures of your pumpkins, or pumpkin picking now it's a thing. So enjoy the weekend. Keep your pictures coming in, any that you take over the weekend. We're on social media, of course, Twitter, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, and of course the Weather Watchers website as well. So yes, it does look like it's going to be a pleasant autumnal weekend. There'll be some sunshine around. Tomorrow there will be a few showers in that northwesterly flow, more especially across parts of South Yorkshire in the morning, and then more widely I think the Pennine chain could get the odd shower through the afternoon. Otherwise it does look largely dry. It's very settled because of this area of high pressure. As it moves east, I think it'll kill off those showers. So Sunday looks largely dry, but a chilly, frosty start to the day. And then high pressure dominates our weather through Monday and Tuesday as well. Wednesday a little bit more cloud, and then those temperatures creeping up towards the end of the week as it becomes more unsettled. This is the radar picture from earlier. You can see by this evening, early evening, that rain was to the south of us. It had cleared away out to parts of South Yorkshire, and we did start to see some bright or sunny spells pulling down from the north. Overnight tonight we'll see some of these showers affecting the Cheshire Gap, so across the Peak District and into parts of South Yorkshire. Otherwise a dry night with clear spells and a cool night, albeit a fairly breezy one. Temperatures down to around 5 or 6 degrees, possibly that little bit cooler in the countryside, particularly across parts of North Yorkshire. Let's have a quick look at those high water times then, at 4:37 in Scarborough and at 4:29 in Whitby. So plenty of sunshine to start the day. We've still got those showers across the Cheshire Gap, but they'll tend to ease a little, and then we might just see 1 or 2 showers affecting any of the Pennine chain through the afternoon. Otherwise, dry and fine with some spells of sunshine, and even in the west there will be sunny spells as well. A breezy, blustery day, a cooler day as well, 11 or 12 degrees. A frosty start to the day on Sunday, and then dry and fine with some sunshine, and then high pressure dominates early next week, Amanda.
Not bad at all, thank you, Keely. We put our heating on for the first time today. It'll be going straight off tomorrow with those sunshines.
You might need it overnight.
Oh, well, let's see. That's it from us. Have a lovely weekend, whatever you have planned, and we'll be back with the late news and weather at 10:30. Hope you can join us then. Goodbye.